The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. I think he missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Wafting in the Virginia breeze high above the paperclip-shaped Martinsville Speedway, which today plays host to the We Stand United Camping World 150, and all the action will be carried live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. In just under a quarter hour, the flagman will wave the green, releasing the rolling rabble of Gen 6 stock cars accelerating toward the 12-degree bank turn 1 for the first lap of round 6 of this 39-lap campaign. So hook up the big screen to display your internet feed, stir up some true-to-fruit flavored Virginia Dare tea, fix up a couple of kraut dogs, and sit back and enjoy the 150 laps of simulated NASCAR excitement that will be streaming into your home. Hello everyone, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soupzon. Helping me call the action is our oval aficionado, Sean Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joe Peak, and at his disposals will be the visionary camera locations provided by the renowned Dougie Whiskers Beard. Well, after 5 events, the question among all drivers, fans, and announcers have been, well, Sean, I'll ask you, do you know the Mullins Man?
The Mullins Man?
The Mullins Man.
Oh, yeah, I know the Mullins Man. He lives on Victory Lane, baby.
That's right, he does indeed. James Mullins has posted back-to-back wins at Phoenix and Fontana and has positioned himself as the man to beat for the championship. Now, Sean, scheduling conflicts prevented us from GSRC from broadcasting round 5 from California, but we are excited to be back and able to show this round 6 short track action from the paperclip.
Yeah, the paperclip, baby, right here in Martinsville, Virginia. A very, very historic track on the NASCAR circuit. And if you didn't get enough of 500 laps today with the NASCAR boys, we're going to do 150 more laps this evening here with WSU and around this half-mile track. You know, it's 12 degrees banking sounds like a lot, but honestly here, Bill, it's not. And tell you what, there's no room down low. There's a little room up high. They're going to be all over this track. Deep field is going to stack up quick. It's going to be a real exciting race tonight. But I'll tell you what, I've talked enough about it. Let's take a look at the track with our pro driver, Brian Yazik, in the GSRC Gen 6 Cup car.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. My name is Brian Yazik and I'll be taking you for a spin around legendary Martinsville Speedway in the GSRC Chevrolet SS. Martinsville is all about rolling the middle of the corner and then out into the exit. That's where you're going to win today. So, going down into turn 1, you're going to try to float it down there and stick close to that curbing as possible. Not too close, because if you hit it, the car will actually jump up and basically spin out on you. Once again, going back down into turn 3, find the curbing, back into the throttle, and then right back out on the straightaway. Your braking marker is going to be right about that Sprint Cup sign on the wall. Some people choose to brake right at it, some choose to brake right after it. That's just the varying degrees of driving styles that are out there. Driving down into turn 3 once again, float in the middle of the corner. Don't get it too much. The car will wash out a little bit if you try to get too aggressive with it. That's what happened right there. Back down into turn 1. You're going to try to float it down in there. This is a little too high, but you can get a straight shot off. Coming off of the corner there. Once again, back down into turn 3, floating it in there, letting the car roll really nice through the middle, back onto the gas hard, coming on to the exit of the corner, and right under the start-finish line one more time. You might see guys run that second lane right up there, right above the seams, as the run wears on and the tires wear out, but I don't know if it's going to be too productive, but people will certainly try. Back down into turn 4 again, off, back underneath the start-finish line, and you've completed your time around Martinsville Speedway. It's going to be a great race today. Tempers are probably going to flare, and guys, the winner of this race is going to be the one with the least crinkled up car. So, my name was Brian Yazik, and this was Martinsville Speedway.
And there's a couple laps around Martinsville. So now let's go ahead and look at the points. Now, when we look at this, after the hours of rehearsal that Sean and I did perfecting our King Farquhar gingerbread man routine, you all may be wondering, where the heck is the Mullins man? Well, despite his 2 wins, James Mullins' misfortune has cost him in the points, and Mullins sits off the chart in 6th, 26 point back. Now, in contrast, while still winless, the consistency of finishes, he's got 5 top 10s in the 5 races so far, has been Finian the Big Dacuna. Now, not only on the chart, but he's on the chart, but he also sits on the top. Now, previous winners Blake Heather and Todd Granger hold positions of 2nd and 3rd. Zach Guadet has had his share of action, and he's moved up into 4th. We've seen a lot of action from him on the track in the races that we covered so far. And in contrast to him is Cordell Colon, who has quietly raced under the radar into the top 5 spot there on the chart. Now, Sean, we talked about the venue, we talked about the standings. Let's take a second and talk about the league rules.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what we got going tonight. I already said we're going to do 150 laps tonight, in for a lot of excitement here this evening. Only 50% fuel, so we are definitely going to have to stop down and get some fuel. I'm thinking that fuel window, if we can go green, is going to be sometime around 60 laps there or so, Bill. No fast repairs. You got to run with your brung, and to add to that, it is an open setup, so you literally aren't running with your brung here, and you're going to need a little bit of skill with that set because, man, it's grip is hard to find. It's down on the inside. There's not a lot of it up top. You're going to have to fight the track state. Got 40% usage carried over. They've had a lot of practice qualifying, and when we get to racing here, somewhere about 50, 60 laps in, it's, those marbles are going to be real up top. Going to be tough to deal with. Again, you got to run with your prong, and you got to do it clean. It's going to be hard to take care of those cars for 150 laps. Incident cap, there is none, but I will tell you, it's blistering on the track at 100 degrees. So again, I talk about grip. It's going to be hard to find out there, Bill. Here in practice so far, we've seen some pretty loose race cars. We saw some earlier today, and we're seeing some here. Side-by-side racing is going to be very tricky, but I think that inside line is going to be the one to watch. That's the one that's going to move. You get hung up outside, Bill, you're going to have trouble.
Now, one of the things, we always like to see large fields here at GSRC, but honestly, tonight we have a kind of a smaller field. It looks like we're going to only have 26 drivers that are going to actually put the cars on the track. And maybe, Sean, for a track like this, 26 is plenty because lap traffic is going to play a factor.
It's going to play a factor with 26. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, those guys starting at the back of the field, they've got their work cut out for them, man. That is this track is fast, okay? I mean, let's just face it. What are we seeing here in qualifying? Low 19-second lap. If you get stuck behind, get caught in that accordion effect, and you find yourself within the first 2 laps, 8 to 9 to 10 seconds down, guess what? In 9 seconds, the leader's going to be on you. So, yeah, man, that's something we're going to have to watch all day. These cars will fight traffic, even with a 26 car field all day long. And not to mention, we get the green flag pit stops that we hope to see today. Hopefully. That will be another issue. Yeah, I mean, traffic on and off pit road is going to be just brutal, man.
I think a lot of will depend on the finickiness of the iRacing stewards here that throw the yellow flags. They use an automated system. Sometimes those iRacing stewards are very finicky and they'll throw them a lot. Sometimes they look like, I've mentioned this before, like they got trained at Ben-Hur and like the Roman chariot races there where they'll let anything go. So we really don't know how long this race is going to take clockwise of watching the minute hand work its way around. It could go 150 laps. If they stay green, Sean, we could be out of here pretty quick.
Yeah, if they stay green. Now, again, we don't have a whole lot of broadcasts with this group, but I'll tell you what, there are some quality drivers in here. It's throwing out some great times right now. I think we have the potential, going back to what we maybe saw today in the real world, a chance to get some green flag runs in here and maybe see these guys have to deal with green flag pit stops at Martinsville. Always an exciting thing to see because it's easy to miss your pit stop here. There's not a lot of room on this pit lane. And I believe with 26, Bill, we're going to have some guys pitting. They'll be pitting in different stalls. I can't remember correctly or not, but We've got pit stalls on the front and the back, and I'm not sure where all these guys have pitted yet.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do my best to not get confused when they do go into pit lane. It's really strange here because they enter into 3 and then they exit out at 2, and I'm not sure if they're going to bunch them all up there towards the front and have them go all the way around. So we will find out what's going on. Certainly, it tests my limited intelligence to try to follow on these yellow flags. We'll do the best we can under these stops. Hopefully, though, Sean, we'll have lots of green flag stops. And this brings up another point now: tires. They're running a minimum fuel cell, so they're not going to have as long a green flag stint as they normally would in real world racing. I wonder, though, if anybody is going to consider stopping in for tires and short pitting.
Bill, you're going to need tires here. The track is 100 degrees, okay? I said the banking was 12 degrees, but trust me, the part of the track that you're fighting on is not 12 degrees. You're pretty much down on the flat on the inside there, and there is a tremendous tendency to overdrive the car here. Guys do it all the time. I've done it. I still do it. You get to fight and you want that piece of real estate. You're going to overdrive it. You're going to make the right rear angry. And when the right rear is angry, nobody is happy, Bill.
And I know we don't like to give away the real world broadcast because I know a lot of the guys are DVRing it. But there was an interesting. I can talk about this in the real race today. I don't know if you saw it, Sean. There was a great pic. I think it was of Boyer's car, the under the car camera of a rear of a right rear. It might have been the left wheel. I think it was. No, it was the right rear they were showing.
It
had worn on the down to the tread. It was one of the best camera shots I've seen in a long time from racing.
And that goes to my point that I just made about making that right rear angry. You don't want to do that here because you're so stacked up. There's so little reaction time. If you spin, you're probably going to be hit. You're probably not going to get hit in a good spot, and it may end your race.
Looking at the qualifying, I'm surprised that we have 17 cars that have put in times right now. I'll go ahead. We're not going to run down the qualifying yet, but Zach Wadet, I talked about him in the pre-race show. He's running 4th in the standings right now, but he's been up front. He's somebody to keep an eye on. I like to call him Mr. Excitement because he really puts on a good show. Has not been the luckiest of drivers. He's sitting on the top right now of the qualifying. 17 drivers. So far between 1st and 17, the distance is about a half a second.
Yeah, and Gaudet, he powered his way to a 3rd place finish last week, Bill. Picking things up just a little bit and got himself, rocketed him up in the points there. But he led 27 laps of that race, so enjoying some time up front, getting a little used to it, and certainly put himself in a good position. Hey, listen, that's where you want to be in Martinsville, baby, on the pole. Give me the pole every day of the week here at Martinsville. I will take it. Nothing like fighting the clean air instead of all that metal behind you.
We talked about some other drivers. James Mullins, we talked about him 2 in a row, sitting in 7th place right now. Looks like that's where he's going to fit in. Another driver to keep an eye on, Sean, is Brandon Cretion. He got a win stripped of him from a technicality. It was a legitimate strippage, but it was tough. But boy, he's bounced back to really be competitive.
Brandon, go back to the last race for Brandon. He was a guy who had he was having a great race. He led 16 laps, Bill, and then had some trouble and winds up finishing that race 74 laps down, and that hurt him just a bit, along with what you just talked about, the penalty he had to take. And but I'll tell you what, Brandon could be a factor this evening. He certainly he knows his way to the front, and he's proven he could drive up there. We'll just see if he can, work through that qualifying spot he's sitting with right now, and which isn't bad. Can he get to Gaudet and get around him? That'll be the interesting thing to see here early in the race.
They were at Fontana last week, and we weren't able to cover that on GSRC, but the passing there, I imagine, was going to be a lot easier than it is going to be today. I think track position is going to play a big factor here, and I think strategy also. If a yellow flag comes out maybe after 5 or 6 laps, 7 laps, are you in that position of, do I want to give up track position for new tires? If I'm in the back, do I want to stay on old tires and maybe get some track position, be up front, and then be an obstacle? This is going to be exciting. And with 150 laps, they don't have a lot of time to make their decisions. If you're in the back, you don't have too long to get up there.
I hope you got a man on the box today because you're going to need it. There's a lot to do, and you got to do it quick. I'll be honest with you, we could see some 2-tire strategy played out as we get late into this race. You have a caution flag with not many to go. What are you going to do? What's the right call? How much time do you want to spend in the pit? Is everybody else going to go in? There's a lot of strategy to think about. Most of it will probably play out in the last 20 laps, Bill.
And I think a lot will come down to luck. You don't want to be, after a yellow flag, you don't want to come out in an even position and put on the outside lane because, boy, you can really work hard before you can drop 4, 5, 6 positions while that train goes by on the inside. Okay, they're gridding up, Sean, so let's go ahead and run through this as they do their pace lap around here. As I said before, it looks like that time held up. Zach Wadet's going to be your pole sitter. Outside of him on the front row is going to be Colton Davis. It's going to be Colton's job to try to find a way to that inside line before he gets passed by too many. Brandon Cretion and Ken Morin Jr. make up the second row. Going back to the third row is Travis Henderson and Carson Hackever. Let's look at that. That's Hakavar, I like. Maybe Hosevar. We'll go with Hosevar today. We talked about the Mullins man. He's going to be in 7th position. And Trevor Vavrovsky going to be out there in 8th. And making up that 5th row is going to be Ricky Howell and Joshua Wolf. Sean?
All right, then we'll go to the 6th row here with Brad Walsh on the inside. And just outside of him going to be Kenneth Reeder starting in 12th. Dawson Brock on the inside of the next row, he'll start 13th. Alex Skinner, 14th today. Cordell Cologne, 15th. Blake Heather, he'll go 16th. Robert Cartwright starting 17th today. Row 9, Jimmy Mullis out there at 18th.
That's some money into the jar,
right, then we'll do it again. All right, there we go. Tad Granger on the inside at row 10, starting 19th. And Nick Parrott in 20th.
Finian the Big Takuna sitting down there in 21st position. Ryan Irby in 22nd. Now these guys follow back there. These guys did not post qualifying times. Mike Manley, Dave Nannon is back there. Nolan Sutton, I believe he has put out a car there. And let's see if Jeremy Poole also has one out there. Okay, the lights are up and they're going to start rolling these guys around. Keep an eye on that outside lane as they fight to get down to the inside. Unless the outside lane is fast, we'll find out.
All right, so Bill, as we look at the field, they are all the way back into the exit of turn 4 is where the grid sat. So taking up just about a half a straightaway, almost part of a turn. That's enough cars, man. That really is. Like I said, they're probably going to catch them pretty quick. These guys at the back are going to have to be on point to start this race. You can't make a mistake here on this start.
Great overhead shot there as you see the car of Zach Wadet just nosing a little bit ahead of the guy that's on the outside of him. Colton Davis. Beautiful stationary shot there. Now another one of Dougie Beers as the cars come right at you. They're going to go around a second time. Zach Wadet on my screen looked like he's driving the Bush machine today. And outside of him, in the 23 machine, Colton Davis on the outside of row 1. Brandon Cretion in that black and blue FedEx machine. Outside of him in the 81. And they're off. And look at the jump that Colton Davis is getting. And I talked about the outside lane having trouble. Well, my goodness, Davis jumps into the lead. Wadet's going to fall back into second place from the outside. Ken Morin in the 81 machine tucks into third position. And there goes Brandon Cretion. We talked about him in the fourth. A little battle going on behind them, Sean. It looks like that Carson Hoover's going to get the best of that. Nope, he's on the outside, not going to get it done. So the 24 machine to Travis Henderson is going to take in fifth position. And look at that driver there, Carson Hasevar on the outside, stuck in that 14 machine, trying to get in. That's Trevor Vavrovsky trying to keep that car on the outside.
Bill, Ricky Howell on number 78 had a little bit of trouble. He was off pace, lost a lot of positions. He's fallen back to 26th place.
Hosevar finally gets to that inside line, falls into sixth position.
Colton Davis just went in the pit. Let's try and find out what happened with him. I'll take a look.
From the lead. So, while Sean's trying to figure out what may have happened there, you know, Sean, he might have got a penalty for jumping the start. That would be my guess. It was a really fast start. He was probably across the start-finish line before Gaudet was. Gaudet should be able to control the pace. My guess is that's what happened.
I believe you might be correct. He did not have any damage. Oh, and he's out. Colton Davis has left the server.
Well, that's a tough way to finish your day, start and finish your day. So let's go ahead now. Look at this. We got Gaudet up front, and here's a new name I'm not familiar with, Ken Morin, in that 81 machine. What color is that machine? It looks kind of green to me, kind of citrus green. Morin Graphics, it says on there. The 81 machine running in second place. Again, they're testing my mentality here, my intelligences. I have an 81 and an 18 back to back of each other, and of course it's 18 and 81 when they actually flip around the other side. So depending on which way the camera looks at it, it's confusing me. Let's just say Gaudet's in that blue machine, Morin's in the green machine, and they're distancing themselves now, Sean, almost a second back to Cretion.
Bill, pretty much nose to tail all the way around. A little bit of battle in here in the turns. Got my eye on Cordell Colon, the number 50. He's making his way up through the field, doing pretty good, up to 13th already.
Looked like Kenneth Reeder in the number 1 machine, running 11th position, got a little bit high, lost a few positions, falling out of the top 10 now. And there's another car on the high side just ahead of him. That's Joshua Howland-Wolf in the 15 machine.
Mike Manley had a little bit of trouble in a number 62. He's got a little bit of right side damages. Car's passing him right now. It's David Nanning coming around him on the inside. Manley all the way up top. Car's not handling well, Bill. That Ford Fusion looks to be off pace for Manley.
And now there's some battles going on in the back, and we don't want to lose track of this leaders, because here's a pass for the lead as I'm saying this now. As Morin dives to the inside, he's going to get that done, and Gaudet's going to fall back into second place, and now they have a lap car ahead of him. That's Jimmy Poole. Jimmy Poole's going to stay to the outside and let both those drivers get to the inside. Poole's going to keep that outside lane. As the whole train's coming around, Poole falls a lap down, but our new leader crossing the start-finish line now as he starts lap 12 is Ken Morin. And
Bill, the field is spread out to the point now where, that traffic is going to start to be a factor here really soon.
The battle I want to look at is 7th place here is Brad Walsh. He's being challenged by Jimmy Mullis, and right behind him in the 14 machine is Carson Hosevar. Now you remember Hosevar was up on the front row there and lost a lot of positions. Hosevar started 6th, he's dropped back to 9th, sitting on the outside of row 3. Could not find that inside lane. So right now 7th place is Brad Walsh.
Jeremy Poole is really loose, having real trouble with that car. The number 2 is loose, he's off pace. He had a little bit of, I saw just him flicker there. I don't know if that's part of the problem, but he is all the way up top and really slow right now. Everybody having to get by Jeremy Poole in a number 2 Toyota.
Oh, I've been there, Jeremy. I've been there more often than I care to admit. But boy, you're having a hard time keeping that car down. I don't know if it's damaged or if you're just not used to racing from that outside lane. I honestly, since I'm such a, look at this, he cannot get that car down.
No, it's not turning, Bill. It's not turning at all. He almost got into the back of Cologne there, going into the turn. Couldn't stop it, couldn't turn it. Yeah, something's going on.
One of the things I do, since I know that a lot of times I'm going to be in that position because I'm always a back marker, I spend a lot of time practicing racing in that outside lane because I know I'm going to be there for most of the race. It's fun to race, dive down, and catch the apex, but go ahead.
Almost contact there. Poole is still really having trouble. He almost had contact with Alex Skinner, who's already got damage on the rear end of that machine. The Snickers, the Camry Snickers there. Oh, a Camry Snickers sounds good, Bill.
It does sound good, especially with 150 laps to go. And you know, you haven't been yourself lately, Sean, so you may want to consider that. Hey, if we go up to the front and we look at Ken Morin, he's really distanced himself now from Gaudet. And actually, Gaudet is falling into the hands of Brandon Cretion. Now, one of the things, Sean, you may be able to help us on this. One of the things I noticed in watching the Real World event here today is sometimes you can burn your tires off earlier. Is that something you can do in iRacing too, or you might want to consider taking a little slower early so you have more tires at the end of your run?
Bill, you can certainly burn your tires off here in iRacing, and we talked about making that right rear tire angry. You don't want to do it. You will burn it off quick if you're overdriving the car. Obviously, if you're up there up front fighting for position, man, you're probably overdriving it just a bit. If you're back here just riding around right now, out of trouble, your car is probably in pretty good shape right now. Your tires will last a lot longer. But if you're racing side by side and you're chasing a position, man, tires are going to wear off a lot quicker for sure.
Let's go to our leader now. He's going to come up on some back markers here. First up there is the number 11 machine of Nolan Sutton. Nolan Sutton's going to back off and let him go. Now he comes up on the 62 machine of Mike Manley. We heard a little bit from him. He's going to get around him. And then next we come up on that beautiful dark number 89 machine there of Robert Ponderosa Cartwright. Let's see where Robert does. Cartwright's going to give. Let's see if he gives him the inside or the outside. I would think he'd want to stay to the outside, give him that inside, and he does.
Ken with a nice move there to the inside. Robert doing a good job of staying out of his way.
Now, one of the things...
car loose in front of the leader.
The yellow flag is out.
Yeah, that was pulled, the number 2, but the caution comes out. I don't think that's what caused it. No, down on the front stretch.
Hocevar lost it. Sean, it looks like when I'm looking on my replay, it's going to come up on screen in a minute. It looks like he just got loose on corner exit.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody else got involved. We're looking at it on the replay now. It's a little bit of that grass down low. You don't want to do that, but that's not where it happened. He gets into the turn, and it just broke loose on him coming around. Everybody up top was able to get by. Good save there. Good save by Hocevar.
Is that from trying to get the power down? Is that what causes that, where you spin those rear tires?
Bill, he broke the egg.
He broke the egg.
He broke the egg. You know the old egg trick? You want to put an egg under that pedal. You don't want to break it, and he broke it. Now we got leaders coming in, Bill. Ken Moran leads him down. Zach Wadet, Brandon Cretion, Travis Henderson, Varun Varosky, James Mullis, Tad Granger, everybody in.
Now, if you can look, you can see the Guadet. If you see on that picture there, Guadet's, his pit stop is all the way around turn 1 and turn 2, right at the entrance there, going out of turn. But it looks like jumping out in front was the first one in. Morin's going to get him. So the first one out is Morin. Guadet's going to come out in second. It looks like Cretion's going to come out in third. Just pretty much the order they went in, Sean.
Yeah, pretty tidy pit stop. Not bad there. And you know what? It came at a good time. 25 laps in. Not a bad time to get that pit stop. Some of those guys that were fighting a loose condition don't have to fight it now on this restart. They'll get some laps to get maybe some time back and maybe get a couple positions back in this thing.
All right, that said, though, 26 lap in. Now, they could still pit, but I'm looking at Nick Parrott in the number 3 machine is our current leader. He has not come in yet. Now he's going to come in. So he's going to get maybe a lap led was his plan. But also staying out. Also, but Nick Parrott has come in. And that's going to, look at this. Todd Granger is now your leader. Let's see if he decides to stay out one more lap and pick up that lead lap bonus.
Yeah,
or if he's actually going to try to stay out there.
Kind of interested to see what the play is here for Tad. Sitting there, has not come in yet. He's got 25 laps on those tires. Does he really want to stay out? I don't know, man. Interesting.
Some of the cars getting the wave around. Jerry Poole will get the wave around in the Sid's View machine. We expect Mike Manley to get the wave around. Also, Nolan Sutton should get the wave around. Ryan Irby.
You know, I'm thinking Granger stays out. He's taking care of the car. The tires feel pretty good. He knows he's got about another 20 to maybe 25 laps in him. Why not? Give it a go here. See if he can keep it up to the clean air here on the restart, Bill.
Well, heck, even if he's on the inside, even if he can hold position for another, let's say he goes another 20 laps before the next yellow comes out and he's only, as the pace car comes in, and it only drops back to 12th or so, he's still probably was good for him to get up there. Okay, so let's see what Granger can do on those old tires. He has the inside line. He'll control the pace. He gets a jump, but no, look at him spin the tires. You can actually see the car wiggle. And that gives the lead out to Morin, who's going to take the spot. Now, the problem is, stuck behind him is Gaudet. Gaudet in the 18 trying to find a way around Granger. Granger goes to the outside. Gaudet dives in there. Granger drops back to third. Gaudet trying to keep it down. He can't. He drifts up a little bit into Granger. Granger gets bumped to the outside. Now getting loose back there is the O2 machine. Woo!
Oh! Cordell Cologne gets hit from behind. Able to hold on to it. That was the number 83 that got into him there.
Everybody still stays green. Cretion has now got around Granger. Let's watch Granger fall. What do you got?
The two is spinning. The two is spinning again. Jeremy Poole is having trouble with that machine tonight. He wrapped it up into the wall. He got loose in the turn, able to gather it back up, back under power. No yellow flag.
We're staying green. Let's go to the number 8 machine of Tad Granger, who's now fallen back to second place. He just got passed by Varun Vorosky. Granger trying to hold on the outside. Drifts wide. Now here comes the train by him. Vorosky gets by him. Mullis gets by him. And there goes the number 5 machine. It's the 15 machine is next there. The 5 machine goes by him of James Mullins. I don't know if that pit strategy worked there, as Granger's fallen back to 8th. He's dropping quickly.
Yes, he is, and man, he's going to probably second guess that. That's okay. He's still in the lead lap here. Not much to worry about. Early days still. Very early days. Jimmy Mullis pressing the issue, though, Bill. He's all over the back of Trevor Vorosky, laying the horn to him pretty hard there back in turn 4.
I'll say. Look at that number 10 machine there getting a bump. Mullis in the 34 machine right behind him, running in 6th position. We're right on board now with Mullis. Oh, we're on board, sorry. We're on board with Mullins in 7th position, looking up at Mullis and Vorosky ahead of him. The director's getting news to our new GSRC graphics there. What a great camera shot.
Blake Heather back here to number 7, fighting off Dawson Brock. Brock got right to his tail. Heather tried to maybe get it in just as deep as he could, and I don't think Heather was expecting that. They've got Cologne just in front of them. Lots of racing going on. But Tad Granger falling all the way back with these guys now. He's in the middle of that mix. I did say it was early days. I didn't expect his car was going to fall off quite that bad, Bill.
And here goes the pass. Mullis now gets the inside position on Vorosky, and a tap from Mullins from behind. Vorosky's able to save it. A little hello and another hello. Vorosky saying, I know you're there. Give me a second to catch my car, get it going straight. You know, I forgot to mention, Sean, on that onboard camera that we shot from Mullins, you could see the damage on his hood there if it was sticking up. Maybe, the directors hate it when I start to call out camera angles. Maybe we can get look back from Vorosky and see if we can get a look at that car from Mullins there. Director trying to see if he can get an onboard camera shot looking backwards from the car ahead. We like to, as our director's looking, we're on board now with Vorosky. There we are looking over the tail. Still can't see him there. What great camera shots. There we go.
Yeah, you can see it sticking right up there
it is.
Over the... Yep. Right over the spoiler there, you can see the front end of that car. It's a little beat up. You don't have to be aero strong here. In fact, you don't have to be aero, period.
Let's go to
Bill.
4th position real quick as Mullis is making a move on the number 24 machine of Travis Henderson. Travis able to fight it off so far, but here comes Mullis. He's going to dive it in there. Going to try to make it stick on the inside. They swap a little bit of paint. I don't think they touch. Mullis trying to push him out as wide as he can so he can get an angle into the corner. Henderson gets a little bit loose, and that finishes the job. Mullis elbows his way into 4th position. That's what racing is like at Martinsville. We're gonna look at that one more time, Sean. Tell me what you see there on that one. That was I'm coming through.
Yeah, that's the what I call the bull in the china shop, sir. I am coming through. Get out of the way, or your china is going to wind up on the floor. He did it there.
Well, we talked about you got to get going, and there's you see it right there as he's slow motion. Look at Henderson save that machine as it gets a little bit loose. Nice job, and he didn't lose a position to Vorosky back there in the 10 machine. Good racing.
Yeah, that's what I call a little bit of a good racecraft there, hanging onto that machine. Really hard to do. These 3,600-pound stock cars are not easy to hang on to on this track.
Now, these are big machines on a little track. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and touch base as we're looking there. You're looking at Travis Henderson in the 24 machine running in 5th position right now. Mullis has pulled away from him, but he's got Broom Borowski right behind him. 34 machine, it looks like Cretion, and look who it is again. The man on the move is Jimmy Mullis. Here he goes. He just got around Henderson, Sean, and now next on his hit list is Brandon Cretion. Cretion might have been looking out of his rearview mirror and saw how Mullis did it for Henderson. Cretion gives Mullis a lot more room than Henderson did.
Yeah, Cretion got a piece of the wall there coming out of 2. He's hanging on right now. Cretion maybe a little guilty of overdriving it just a bit, but that car is not handling as good as it was a moment ago.
Now he's got him pinned ahead of Ryan Irby here. Irby's going to try to go. It gets okay. They sort it out before they get to Irby. Poor Irby doesn't know where to go. Goes to the outside, and the 2 drivers get underneath him. Mullis gets underneath him. Cretion gets underneath him for 3rd and 4th. We should keep an eye on. Let's get a little gap signal here. Let's go up to Guadet, about 1.9 seconds back to Jimmy Mullis, who is on the move. So we'll see if he can start closing that in. Our leader is well out in front. 2.5 seconds out in front, and he's got clear track ahead of him in comparison to what the guy in second, Guadet's got to do. Guadet's got to get around Manley, and he's held up there as you see Manley try to get out of the way, and now Nolan Sutton.
And Bill, we're just about here to tick off 50 laps, man. What a race. It's just flying by. We've only had that one caution flag.
I want to see if I can find the guy. It was who stayed out? Tad Granger. Tad Granger currently running in 14th position now.
Yeah, he's been able to gather it up. You know, after those first few laps
right.
that he had fallen back, he's actually been able to stabilize the car now. I think he's back to basically how he was running in that first 25 laps.
I do too.
Just kind of taking it easy, driving his line. He's got a little bit of a threat from Parrott behind him, but Parrott, I think, is doing the same thing, trying not to overdrive it too much. Now, a little aggressive right there by Parrott. Kind of looked like he might have missed his point. But, yeah, that's a good little battle right there for now 14th. Yeah. Parrott diving to the inside.
And look at Granger I think this surrender, he knows he knows he's on older tires, 20 laps older tires than these guys. So he gives it up to Parrott. But he can afford to do that. He's looking for another yellow to come out here pretty soon. He's got Dawson Brock behind him. Keither, Skinner, right behind him.
I had Ricky Howell, the 78. He's still having trouble. Oh, boy, the 24 out of shape. Travis Henderson having trouble getting through the turn. He's around. Oh, and a 9. Finney and Takuna right into him.
Yeah, poor, he got loose. You see him down the yellow, and the yellow is out, I guess. He got in behind Hocevar, and then he lost momentum. Spins it. Oh. Sean, that looked like a tough hit.
Yeah, tough break for Finney and Takuna. He had nowhere to go. He was checking up, obviously. We're watching Henderson here from behind, heading into the turn. Car just gets around. It broke around on him, Bill, and he just couldn't save it.
He fought it for the entire corner. The bad news is for Takuna, we mentioned in the pre-race show, that's your standings point leader. Now, he started at the back of the pack, so I can't have a lot of sympathy for him. If you're going to start at the back, that's one of the things you're going to run into trouble with.
Well, guess what, Bill? Everybody is back down pit lane. They went 3 laps longer on that run than they did the previous one. So here we are, caution flag number 2. Everybody coming in. The race off pit road is real.
And that works out perfect for Granger. That's just what he needed. He's only made 1 stop compared to everybody else who's made 2. We'll see where he comes out. Now your leader came in as the leader, is going to come out as the leader, Morin. Looks like Nolan Sutton maybe stayed out one time to lead a lap. He's going to be at the back of the lead lap, so why not get that lead lap led? Makes sense. Looks like Morin's going to be, let's see where Guadette's going to come out in second. Cretion coming out in third. What I really want to see is where is Mullis? Yep, Mullis is going to be in fourth.
Yeah, he's going to cycle out in fourth.
That's really good news for him, too, because he might have been one of the fastest cars on the track. He just had bad track position. But, boy, he did a great job of getting around some drivers. Borowski going to come out in fifth, and now the outside of him. Now, here's a guy making his way up. James Mullins. I know he started seventh, so he's only picked up one position, and really that's Henderson who has spun, so he hasn't picked up much on the track.
Yeah, but you know what? The key at this point, Bill, is you're still in the race. All right, you're about to get 60 laps deep into this race by the time we restart, and you're still in it, and the car is still handling pretty well, and you've got a shot. Everybody still has a shot right now. We've only right now. I think Colton Davis is the only car sitting in. David Nannon is back on track. Jeremy Poole is in for a little bit of lengthy repair, but aside from that, Bill, we're ready. We're good to go.
What's Finian DeCuna's situation? Did you get that car back out on the track?
Checking in on Finian now. Yeah, he's back on track, Bill.
Good for him.
He, in fact, finds himself only one lap down.
Good for him. With attrition coming in, there's many positions to be made up.
Yeah, he's in 18th place. Not altogether that bad.
Pace car is in.
Car
Here's
doesn't
another
look that
big
bad.
jump. Oh, I'm worried here. Here's another big jump from the car on the outside. I really can't blame him. That was Morin on the Morin have the outside position. You don't get to pick your starting position. I don't know why he was on the outside lane. Meanwhile, Guadette's going to be in second position fighting with Mullis right now. Mullis on the outside. Keep an eye on that battle there. Guadette in the 18 machine. Mullis in the 34, that gray machine. Mullis is going to tuck in for now. But I don't think that's just a matter of time before he tries to find a way around Guadette. On the outside, there's the 02 machine of Cretion. I want to go back and look at I'm going back to look at the restart again. Yeah, Morin was your leader and was on the outside lane. I didn't think iRacing let you choose your lane. I thought they automatically put the leader on the inside. If they didn't, I approve of this change. It's great to see Morin have the outside. Meanwhile, Morin out in front by about a second now.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta mention Finian DeCuna. You know, I said I thought the car looked okay. He's off pace, Bill. It's going to be a long race for Finian. He's got some pretty significant front end damage, which I didn't see. That car is not tracking right now, not tracking well at all. In fact, he just got a piece of the wall coming out of 4, and it's going to be a struggle for him, I think, the rest of the way.
Cretion up. Cretion going high and is going to lose a ton of positions. He was running in 4th position. Boy, he's really struggling now. The car just went away from him. He didn't hit the wall. If I didn't know better, I'd say he had a tire going
62
down.
is around. Yeah, we got a caution flag. That's Mike Manley. He got a little help.
Looks like Alex Skinner got into him. The 20 machine.
Yeah, he got a little bit of help from that Camry Snickers there. We're going to look at it on the replay. 62 goes in, and just a little bit of contact there. That doesn't do it. This one will. And he got him. He got him, Bill.
Alex a little cranky. I think he needs a bite of his sponsor's product there to calm himself a bit. Look at that. We're on board right now with Skinner. You can already see there's damage on the left-hand side there of his hood. And Sean, he tried it once, it didn't work, so he thought he'd give it another shot.
Yeah, this time he committed all the way on that one.
Yeah, that wasn't really a bump run. Our director says he didn't move him, he got a truck and a dolly. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's the old Dale Earnhardt Sr. thing. I didn't mean to spin him. I just meant to rattle his cage.
Cage rattled.
Yeah. Well, now, that's pretty early in the run. I don't think we're going to see guys come in like we did before. Let's see. Have the pits opened yet? We were busy watching the replay. I don't think they have. Let me make sure I didn't miss a... Nope, I haven't missed a pit stop yet. Yes, I have. I'm sorry. So coming in...
Well, we had a few guys come in, Bill, and Hoshimar came in, Gaudette came in, Mullis came in, Josh Wolf, Kenneth Reeder. But our top four... Well, top five stayed out. Yeah.
Morin came in, yeah. So some of the leaders came in. So Morin was first out. We look here and see, I'm looking at Gaudette's taking tail, and Morin came out.
Yeah. Well, now Morin is still in the pits right now, I'm showing. He's on his fourth pit stop, so he must have had to get something fixed there, but he's still sitting on the pit lane.
He came in on lap... Yeah, he came in on lap 67, and then I'm watching him. After he came out of pit, he stopped on the track, let everyone go by.
All right, he's away.
Maybe he came in before it was closed, but I don't think so because there's other drivers who came in as well. I'm not sure what happened to Morin.
Well, he's going to be starting at the back of the lead lap, basically, cycling out in 17th place right now.
Well, let's set the stage here of these drivers. Now, I don't believe any of these guys as the pace car comes in. So we have Mullins on the inside of the number 5 machine. He's your leader. On the outside is Trevor Broom-Borowski. Neither one of those drivers pitted. Look at the jump that Borowski gets on the outside. Mullins trying to fight back on the inside. They go in 2 by 2. Mullins drifts a little bit wide. They leave the lane open now for the 0-2 machine of Brandon Creation, who's coming in from 3rd position.
Oh, trouble at the back. Oh, Tad Granger gets hit. He's around the yellows. Back out, Bill. Tad Granger got hit hard.
Granger is smoking.
I hope he's got the jacket on, Bill. Lots of frustration out there right now, Bill.
Alex Skinner involved in that as well. Finian DeCuna also in that one.
Yeah, and I think everybody is, like I said, frustration starting to mount just a little bit there on the radio. But Granger, the real victim there, Bill, that car is just destroyed. He was having a really good run, man. That's tough.
Looking back at it again on the replay here, I'm trying to see who started it. I think Granger, I honestly think Granger got into the back of Skinner.
I think
Granger lost control. Is that what you're seeing?
I think they were checking up, Bill, for a slower car.
Ahead of them.
Yeah, the 26. I'm sorry, was that the 2 of the 2 of Jeremy Poole?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what caused that problems. Well, whatever it is, it was bad news for Manley involved, Granger involved, Poole involved, and DeCuna involved. I'd be surprised. DeCuna's car is in bad shape. I'd be surprised if we see any of those 4 out there again.
Well, I can confirm that Poole has been asked to park by the admins. Was not up to speed and felt like he was in the way, so they've asked him to park it. He's out of this race.
Yeah, I have a. There's certainly a sympathy for back markers, but that one probably needed not to be here. Cars were having a hard time getting around him. He was doing a good job of staying out of the way. Hey.
Well, Bill, we're about ready to go again here, baby.
We are at the halfway point. Now, again, we were reviewing that, so I'll do a quick review here. Yell at me when the pace car pulls out. I want to make sure our leaders did not come into the pits, and they did not.
No, they did not.
Okay.
The top 3 are still on the track. Yes, sir.
Sometimes we get busy looking at the replays, and there's just you and me here, Sean. We try to follow all the action, so let's get this straight now. As the pace car comes around, it's going to be pulling in. Brandon Cretion out in front. He's been in the top 5 most of the race. The number 5 machine, that beautiful number 5. Oh, I'm sorry. No, let me get this right. It's James Mullins.
Yeah,
Mullins in the 5 machine.
That's
the
right.
20
Cretion
machine. There's the FedEx machine of Cretion. Okay, both those guys kind of dark colored. They're Mullins in front. Cretion laying back a bit, and he lays back, and look at the run he's going to get. He times that perfectly. Cretion on the outside, Mullins on the inside. Cialis bathtubs around 1 and 2. Now Cretion, and again, they leave the door open for the inside. I saw this before. It's the same driver making a move on the inside now. It's Vorosky in the 10 machine. Can you finish this?
Hochevar just behind did a really good job of just staying out of that mix. Hochevar moving, though, on the inside, finding the run. Tried to make it there on Brandon Cretion. There he is on the inside of Cretion. Here comes Hochevar. He's got it, baby. Coming out of 4. Hochevar with a really nice run.
And what's bad?
Cologne, slow behind.
What's bad for Cretion is Hochevar couldn't close the door, so Cretion remains pinned on the outside, which lets in that gray number 14, the gray number 34 machine of Jimmy Mullis now. Cretion really needs us to back off and tuck it into line. There we go. He tucks into 4th. And Sean, those 4 cars have really distanced themselves from back to Jimmy Mullins now.
Oh, we got a yellow back out of here on the track. I'm trying to find it, Bill.
Seeing if we can find it.
That might have been Haas Cartwright there. The 68 might have had a little bit of trouble. Yeah, we're going to catch it on the replay here. Well, Cartwright coming out of the pit here. Let's see what happens. Might have lost it on the exit. Tough place to get out when there's a lot of traffic there. Car really slow getting out.
We don't know why.
Yeah.
We cannot find the car. Well, what that has allowed to do is, as Sean, keep looking for that. I'm going to follow the pit stops here. As maybe we're thinking maybe Manley might have had an issue.
Certainly had a lot of damage on the car.
So Cretion has stayed out. Mullins has stayed out. I want to see it. I guess Vorosky has come in. He was out in front. Did Vorosky decide to pit? Yes, he sure did. Vorosky pitted. Hocevar pitted. And Morin Jr. now running in 8th place. So those guys are going to be running back. We still have about 19 cars on the lead lap. But some of the fast guys that we saw up in front now.
Okay, I think I found it. That started with Dawson Brock, I believe. Brock had a little bit of trouble getting into 3, maybe a little bit of help. He has to check up, goes spinning around, comes back up to the track. Oh, the 24 gets into him. He gets a piece of the 11. Everybody stacked up there in the turn. Everybody was able to get back under power, but so many cars involved. It just that's what brought out that caution, Bill.
Our director trying to go way back to see if he can get it. We only have a limited amount of distance we can go back to find out. I don't think we're going to be able to get there. Try one more time. Hey, look at this. Our director's good.
Okay, so there's Dawson Brock in 83, and just behind them you see a car on the wall. All right, here we go.
Not missing anything of like now, live action. The pace car is still out. Did we find... There we go, we found it. There it is.
Yeah, he checked up to avoid hitting the 7 there, and the car went around, and everybody has to make an evasive move.
We go the extra mile here at GSRC to try to get you all the action. pace car has tucked in. Let me set the stage. Brandon Cretion stayed out. He's on the inside in the O2 machine. He's your leader now. Outside of him,
Green flag, green flag.
James Mullins. Mullins gets a great jump. Let's hope that's going to be okay. We saw somebody get a black flag for that earlier. Mullins is going to get the lead now. He's come all the way up from the 7th position.
Oh,
Finally
the
found
60's
himself
around
up.
in the back of the field. No yellow flag yet.
They're still racing.
Keep going, Bill.
We got a smoker in the back, though, Sean. Who is that smoking?
Oh, that's Travis Henderson. He's got the jacket out, heading for the chair.
Oh, and in
Heading
the
into
wall.
pit.
Loose in the wall right now. We have a crash up front. Let's go to the O2 machine of Brandon Cretion. He got loose in the wall and got collected. I think that was Vorosky who got him. Vorosky spins to the inside, actually into the pit lane. Those cars were running 2 and 3 at the time. Vorosky brings it back out on the track. You can see this as Cretion was running second. The car just starts to wiggle on him, and then he puts it in the wall, and then Vorosky corrects him. It wasn't that far back, so keep an eye on this here. Look at that O2 machine. There you see him hit the wall, then he gets loose, and then Vorosky collects him and spins to the inside. Doesn't make a lot of contact other than the contact he had with Cretion.
Got kind of lucky there that the pit lane was right there. It'll spin. Oh, the caution's out.
And the yellow is out. Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed that kind of accident would bring out the yellow again. You never know what the iRacing race stewards do.
Cordell Cologne was around, trying to catch up and see what happened here. Cologne was around. We got another replay. Oh, a little bit of contact with the 3. It looked like we'll watch it here. Yeah, a little bit of contact there with the 3, and
look at Cologne.
Cordell Cologne is around.
Look at him hold the brakes though until the traffic clears.
Yeah, that was a really good job by Cologne holding her up there and letting everybody make a decision they could count on.
Okay, Mullins is coming in. He was your leader. I have no idea. I had notes on pit strategy and when they came in. It's just too much to keep. I got stuff here. It looks like John Nash, a beautiful mind here. I got notes and stuff and wires and yarn. It's ridiculous. So I have no idea. Cretion is in.
I want to ponder this real quick here. Ken Morin. Okay, he has been in the pit 6 times. He's taken 6 pit stops. He came in again. He came in the second time on that last caution flag, Bill. He topped off.
Yeah, and so what does that mean for him? He should be way in the back, right?
No, he's on the pole. He's at the front of the field right now.
He's at the front of the field.
Yeah, he's at the front of the field, and you know what? I think, you might be able to get 55 laps out of this set. Maybe. If we were to go green, Ken could be good to the finish. We'll see.
I've been watching auto racing for half a century, and I don't know the strategy where you come in and pit and pit and pit and pit, and then you find your way to the front. I'm not sure. I'm learning here today with you guys. Looking at Ken Morin.
I'm going with Morin.
Morin. I like Morin. Hey, look who's on the outside. Joshua Hallen-Wolf in that 15 3M machine. Now, the outside, Sean, has been pretty darn good.
It hasn't been bad. It's actually better than I expected. Yeah.
The real spot I want to be in is in the spot that the number 34 Jimmy Mullis has right now. The third position has managed to take the lead a couple times. What happens is the cars up in front start to battling, and they leave the door open for the guy on the inside of row 2. This guy says, "Thank you very much." As they cross the start-finish line now, starting lap 94. Doing my math, that means 56 to go. Sean, I think that's a long 56, maybe? Maybe they can get there.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't think we're going to get there without a caution. No, I got to be honest.
I think they've
been getting a little bit more. It keeps getting a little more tense every restart. Here we go.
17 cars on the lead lap. Keep an eye on Ken Morin. He was up front early, fell back after a series of pit stops. He's back there again. He takes them to the grid. He takes them to he gets a little help from the 34 machine back there of Mullis. And it looks like Morin's going to get that position. Mullis, again, as I talked about, that inside of row 2, Good place to be as he's going to fight for that second spot. Alan Wolf going to be able to tuck in, luckily be able to tuck in third.
Bill just behind those guys in the 14. Here comes Hochevar again, just banging his way up through the field.
A lot of goers and comers, and here we have a pass for the lead. Jimmy Mullis gets in front. He's been hot all race. He started in the 18th position and has now finally worked his way to the lead. Your new leader, Jimmy Mullis. Morin in second, Wolf in third. And then Carson Hocevar, like you said, elbowing his way up into fourth.
Man, Gaudette is on a mission right now. He's got the car working on the top line. Those guys just behind him are all battling really hard. But man, Gaudette is just on rails right now. He made it work. He passed two cars up on the outside, made it look like they were standing still, Bill.
78 is spinning. 78 is in the wall. That is the car of Ricky Howell. But he keeps it going straight. I don't think this is going to bring out a caution.
He kept it going in the right direction.
And now another big bang behind there from the 20 machine of Alex Skinner.
Yeah,
Skinner is aggressive.
Skinner, and on my screen, Bill, I'm seeing a little bit of warp out of Skinner.
I did also,
If I'm seeing that, what's he seeing? What's Ricky seeing in the cockpit there? That's got to be tough to drive around.
I think Nolan Sutton was actually inside Skinner's car there for a while, driving both of them. Yeah, we're looking at the replay there where the 78 machine got a little help around, but they kept it going straight.
The yellow flag is out.
Yellow is out again. Let's see if we can find out why.
Oh, that's the 18. Oh, no, that's the 18 and the 10. Vorosky's around.
It looks like it's
Zach Gaudette. That was Gaudette that got around. Heavy damage on the right front.
Yeah, Gaudette got around and then Vorosky got around trying to miss him. Gaudette started it.
Here we go on the replay. Coming off the turn, their car broke around up into the wall.
Yeah, and Cretion got into him. Cretion got a lot of nose damage there. Cretion had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that boy Gaudette again with some pretty good damage on the right front, the whole right side of that car, the right rear. Yeah, that's a tough break for him. Man, he was coming up through the field so quick. Might have broke the egg, Bill.
On board with Nick Parrott, and you can see the car, and there's Cretion getting into it. Parrott says, "Where am I going to go? I'll go high," and it works.
You see where it snapped around on him there? He might have just gotten back to that throttle just a little too quick. Maybe burped it or something, and she just got around and broke on him. He couldn't do anything with it.
Looking to see if any leaders have come in here. No, I don't think so. Ricky Howell hit it from the in damage. Gaudette is obviously coming in from what he had damage going on. I think the other guys are staying out.
No, Morin went in, and he's back out. He's going to cycle back out in third. But our leaders there, Mullins and Cretion, they stay out on the track.
Had to be maybe just 5 or 6 laps there on that set of tires.
Cretion coming on the chat saying he hates this track. We're going down with a fight. This car is dead.
We're looking at his car right now. That's how they should look at this place if you do it right at Bristol.
At Martinsville, yes.
Martinsville, sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to Bristol. We'll get to Bristol. Bill, I love you, man.
I know where I am. It's a little half mile.
It's one state over. It's all right. No big deal. In fact, Bristol, there's Bristol, Virginia, and Bristol, Tennessee. So not too far off.
That's right. It's only an inch on my map. We're not sure what's going on here. We're looking. If we set the stage now, it's James Mullins. The Mullins man. He's got coming off of 2 wins in a row. There he is, back up in front. Started 7th, worked his way up to the lead. Now the 02 machine of Cretion is still on the lead lap. The pace car is in. That 02 machine looks beat up. Now keep an eye on the 81 machine of Morin there. I think he's going to be the guy to make a move. I don't see how Cretion's going to have anything going on. And the poor number 34 of Jimmy Mullis is caught behind Cretion. Cretion Mullis actually slows down to try to make sure he doesn't get in the back of Grecian. And now there's banging up in front, as that's Morin getting into the back of Mullins. Morin again looking for a place to go. Morin ducks to the inside again, and again it's the third position takes the lead. And the number 5 machine is loose in the back. Mullins is loose, but he's able to keep it going, Sean.
Hochevar got into the back of him, gave him a little bit of help. Grecian got a little bit of help from Hochevar. Hochevar has been on it, battle for the lead up front, Bill Morin.
Now these are 2 drivers that are very good here. That 34 machine of Mullis is tough. This is the first time I think Morin's had somebody up there who has his number. Look at what Mullis could do on the outside. My goodness. And look at the drive he gets off. That 34 machine is on rails.
I'll tell you what, he has got it on the ragged edge right now. Morin, I don't know if he's got anything for it.
Oh, he's lost. Mullis was loose and almost lost it in front of the entire field. He gives it up to the 18 to Morin, takes the lead. Mullis got loose, breaking the egg, as Sean likes to say.
I'll tell you what, man, I said he had it hanging on the ragged edge. He really does. That battle is great up front, Bill. This race is just going away from us here so quick.
42,
battling throughout the field.
41 laps to go, and a great shout out to our newcomer, Carson Hocevar. Man, he's good in that 14 machine, currently running in 3rd position. Grecian in that destroyed number 02, the FedEx machine. You can hardly read the FedEx. It looks like Ed Fex running in 4th position.
Oh, the 3 is loose.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, Ricky Howell and Cordell Cologne get into it just in front of that. That was Nick Parrott. He got around Cordell Cologne and Ricky Howell. They were fighting, and they had to avoid it. Both of them got into the wall.
Looks like no... Yep, there's the yellow.
Here we go. We got the replay now. There's Cordell Cologne making a move to the inside on the 78 of Parrott. But just, that I said the 3 was around too. I guess we didn't see it there on the replay, or I missed it.
Okay.
It looked like it started with Parrott, to be honest with you. Yeah, we're on the replay now. We're looking here with Cordell Cologne. There's Parrott right outside. Yeah, there we go. They have to, okay. They had to avoid Nick Parrott's car, and that pinched him up in the wall and started that accident for those 2. So, tough break, man.
Okay, here are the big names that have come in, the names that we've seen up the top. It's Morin has come in, Mullins has come in, and Hocevar has come in. I believe Hocevar came in.
Yes, that's correct. Hocevar did come in. Yes.
So those 3 were up front. They have come in. Now staying out is then the guys that were up there. This is interesting as they go with 37 laps to go. We know they can go the distance from here, but they probably won't have the opportunity. Staying out now is Jimmy Mullis now is out in front in that 34 machine, but he's going to have a little older rubber. Brandon Grecian in the Ed Fex machine because of the banged up hood. My goodness.
Man, I'll tell you what, I just don't know if older rubber is the play. I think we saw that fail miserably for Tad Granger earlier, and now where it's left Tad Granger is sitting in the pit stall with too much damage to continue, sitting back in 23rd place. So, man, I just think you need those tires, and I think you need them now. We got 35 laps left to go, Bill. We're getting ready to do this thing not one more time, but we're getting ready to do it again, and baby, it's go time. It's time to get this thing done. You want to win this race, you better make a move now and do it quickly.
You want a name we haven't mentioned the whole race, running in 4th position? At least I don't remember mentioning him. How about Kenneth Reeder? Outside of row 2 in the number 1 machine. Quietly working his way up through the field. Looking at that car, it looks pretty clean. Gonna go around one more time.
That is is that Yingling is what I'm seeing on that? He does have damage on the front of that number 1 Yingling machine there.
Thought I was trying to find a car that looked good out there.
Bill,
that
is not in my beer vocabulary. I'm not familiar with Yingling.
Cincinnati brand, we hear from our director, who is a Cincinnati native. Okay, the caution car is in. Green flag is out. Look at Grecian get a run on that O2 machine that has no front. The air is probably very aerodynamic because it's probably passing right through the machine.
Morin was loose back here, really loose. He was right next to Ricky Howell. He gathers it back up. He's still battling with Howell up there on the outside.
See Morin in that beauty. It's easy to spot. He's in that lime-colored green machine back there, the only car like it.
Having a really spirited battle with Ricky Howell. Morin gets a piece of the wall coming out of 2. Oh! Ricky Howell into the back of the 1. Into the back of the Yingling machine. Oh, here comes Ricky Howell on the inside. Morin up top. They're all over the 1. Kenneth Reeder is just a pack of angry wolves.
Morin gets a little bump on Reeder and pushes him out of the way. Morin trying to get that green car up there. Trying to make the outside lane work. The guys up front, not much going on there. They're pretty much single file up there.
How is Ricky Howell doing this here? You seen the front end of that 78 machine. Oh, he gets a little bit of tap from behind there from Zach Gaudet. Gaudet not giving up. He's still in this race. He got by Morin. Now he's working on the 78 of Ricky Howell, but Howell keeping that car strong, Bill, with no front end on it. He's still got a hood, though.
Looks like I saw somebody loose into the inside wall back there, but it's not going to bring out the yellow, is it? Nope, I think we're okay. Meanwhile, the car on the move. Let's go up to second position. It's Carson Hocevar. He's got around Brandon Cretion now, which doesn't surprise me because Cretion has no front end, but he did a great job of getting around Joshua Wolf as well. So Hocevar up to second spot. Now he's got a ways to go to Kes Mullis, who's got about a 1.3 second lead on him. Let's see if he can run him down.
Bill, Hocevar's been strong on every restart of this race, man. If he can get to the leader, I think the leader might have his hands full. Watch out, Jimmy Mullis. Here comes Carson Hocevar.
The gap remains pretty much the same. We'll watch this. We have 28 laps to go. Doubtful if we can get all the way on this run. Let's keep an eye back there on Cretion, who's really struggling to keep that banged-up O2 machine in the podium position. Howlin' Wolf trying to take a peek on the inside. He dives to the inside. Cretion closes the door. Not this time, Joshua. Joshua gives him a little nip on the butt there to get Cretion going. Cretion gets a little loose. The Wolf right behind him.
Oh, the 78's around. He's losing it. Oh, I can't believe he hung on to it.
He saved it, but he got collected. He got picked up. Reeder got into him.
Ricky
and a little
Howell.
bit from Heather as well, I think.
Yeah, poor Ricky. I mean, he had that car saved, man. And then just there at the... Oh, man, he had his hands full. Watch it here on the replay, the Global Sim Racing Channel replay on screen for you there. Here's Ricky Howell, number 78 there at the back. We're on him. No front end on that car. Not handling well. He gets loose. He's trying to gather it up.
It's a tank slapper.
He saved it like 4 times.
You know what I think happened is I think the driver in front of there, I think Morin got a little bit loose and broke the concentration there. And then poor Kenneth Reeder, we talked about him having a great job, got the car up to 4th place, banged that number 1 hood right into him.
Okay, your leaders are in. Now Cretion and Mullins, they decide to stay out. Not much of a surprise there, but you got Hocevar going in, and we know how he's been on the restarts, and he's taken advantage of just about every pit stop opportunity he's had. This is his 8th trip into the pits, Bill.
Yeah. Cretion also stayed out. He didn't come in the last time.
Oh, we got trouble on the caution lap. Ricky Howell. Oh, man. Ricky Howell has been asked to park his machine, Bill.
And it happened.
See if we can figure out what happened.
Car's still out there.
Yeah, I think a little frustration there from the
Brad
88
Walsh.
machine. And they've both been asked to park their cars for the remainder of the race, Bill.
Well, I don't know. We always, you catch the second end of the fight, so I don't know what Ricky Howell... Obviously, Ricky must have done something to make Brad Walsh think he deserved that. But It's the end of the night for those two boys. They'll be going to the trailer for a little talk.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it definitely getting tense out of here, man.
Where are we? Is that a little Martinsville?
Yeah. I mean, we shouldn't be altogether shocked that we're, seeing tensions flare up. Again, we are at Martinsville. So, and listen, we're getting late into this race. The guy's getting nervous, trying to make a move, and, it's the kind of brand of racing you're going to get under these conditions.
Look at that close-up there, the Dougie Beard camera angle there of Brandon Cretion. Woo, that's your leader, boys and girls.
A lot of camber on that left front.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it's a great view. Not something you get to generally see is again, the type of amount of camber they've got on a track like this.
I'm not sure if some of that maybe added a little bit after some contact. Pace car is in. The O2 machine leads them to the green flag, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold the lead going into the first corner with that machine. Keep an eye on the 5 machine of James Mullins. The Mullins band, first to the green, first to the start-finish line.
Look at Hocevar.
Boy, some 14 car making his way through the crowd.
Oh, and he's around. Cretion's around.
Did they bring out the yellow for that? I can't believe it didn't.
Yeah, Cretion spun it all. He got hit and got spun around. And now he's got more damage. I don't want to laugh about that, but the car is pretty beat up already.
Hocevar ducked it in, tried to make it 3 wide, and gave Cretion a big bang, put him out in the outside into Mullis, and then he got loose in front of Vorosky. And I don't think anybody else caught him, though. Oh, maybe a little bit there from Cologne maybe got some of that. There you can see it, Sean.
Yeah, man, I gotta be honest, man. Just right, what are you gonna do? Cretion, it didn't come in, and pretty much everybody else did, and he paid for it right there. That's a tough break. Despite all the trouble he's had, he had a great run going. I just don't know if he's going to have enough time left to get back into the thick of this, Bill.
You never deserve to be turned. Let me premise this statement I'm going to make. You never deserve to be turned. But if anybody deserved to be turned, it might have been him. That car was banged up and leading the way, and Hocevar had places to go and wasn't going to wait for that banged up machine to get out of the way.
That's not the first time I've seen Hocevar do that this evening, no. I mean, he's been very aggressive and
pointy elbows.
And man, this restart, I'll tell you what, James Mullins better watch his back, and Jimmy Mullis better have James Mullins back, because it's going to take those two teaming up down on the inside to keep Hocevar from making another daring move as they'll head off into one when we restart.
Well, we talked about it in the pre-race show. Do you know the Mullins man? Well, yes, I do. And right now, he lives in first place, coming off 2 wins, looking to make it 3 in a row. But on the outside is the man with the pointy elbows, Carson Hocevar, running 14. Now, he's going to be starting on the outside. We'll see what's up. In my favorite position to start is Jimmy Mullis in the 34 machine, that gray machine on the inside of row 2. That's been a popular place and has been very successful, coming out of 2, going into 3. Behind them, look who it is, Zach Wadet in the 18 machine.
How is Wadet still in this race, Bill?
Yes,
it's like a cockroach. He just keeps coming up. You can't get rid of him.
Our director, Joe Peets, likes to call it the Dory Award. Just keep swimming, and there you are, right up there in 18th position.
I'm going to stop using the cockroach comparison. We'll use Keith Richards going forward. How's that sound? That sounds a lot better. And everybody gets it. When you say Keith Richards, they know you're saying, yeah, he's going to probably outlive the cockroaches too. So,
going back a little bit farther, we've seen a lot of him. The lime green machine of Ken Moran up there, and then the 3M machine of Vroom Vorosky running really well. Pretty much, Sean, it's the same names we've seen all race. They're just kind of shuffled up a bit.
Green flag.
And we go green.
could be the last one, man. We don't know.
Oh, they touch the leaders, and look who gets it. It's the third place driver as they spin. That's the 14 machine of Hocevar in the wall. Is that going to bring out the yellow? Yes, it does.
Oh, yes, it does. And, well, I think Hocevar, dare I say karma. You reap what you sow. Let's look at it from the blimp here. Get an idea of what happened. They get started across the stripe, Bill. Contact there with Hocevar and our leader. Now, Mullis powers through that pretty well. But Hocevar, big trouble for him. That's going to shuffle him all the way back.
Well, let's take a second and show you the extra lengths with 12 laps to go. The extra lengths we go to here at GSRC for realism. Now, one of the most popular things at Martinsville is, of course, the kraut dog. And there you go. That was my lunch there. Little potato salad, some kraut dog, and right over there, that's some Junior Johnson moonshine there to top it off with. So, where are we going next week? I have to plan my lunch.
Is that the lemon moonshine or the apple I saw there?
Oh my goodness, Mr.
Have
Ambrose?
Have you had the apple? Have you had the apple?
That was the lemon moonshine. No, all right. I'm gonna look into the apple.
Oh, the apple is delicious, sir.
Well, with 11 laps to go, what do you think, Sean? Can we get this thing finished under green tonight? Is that a possibility? No. So here's my thinking here. With 11 laps to go, there's only one place I want to be, and that's in the lead right now.
Yeah,
because you never know when this race is going to stop. So right now, it is Jimmy Mullis in the 34 machine. Now, he started third, and like I said, that third position is the place to be. He was able to get up to the lead. Outside him is Morin.
Yeah, and here's Morin. He has battled all night, man. That car has been in the pit. I know I keep saying this. We got a running ticker on him here. He's been in 9 times. Mullis has only been in 6. So there's your comparison. That car is still on the track. Finds himself in a fight for a win. Nolan Sutton, Bill, somebody else we haven't talked about much tonight. Nolan Sutton. Sutton has got himself up here in this battle.
The Sutton family is watching this at home saying, hey, how about Nolan? Well, there you go. Now, how about that car? Does that car look like it's in pretty good shape? Maybe a little damage in the back. I see that Toyota's banged up.
He's got a little bit of rear end damage on that car, but I'll tell you what, it's not too bad. Actually, I'm sorry, the rear end damage on that car pretty significant. Yep. But you don't need the rear end here at Martinsville, Bill. That's not the important side of the car you got to worry about. He's in good shape. That is the KY-sponsored Toyota Camry there of Nolan Sutton.
That car should be pretty slippery as he tries to make his way up through the field. Now, up ahead now we have Mullins in the first position. I'm sorry, let's get this straight. It's Mullis, and then the 18th position there of Morin. Now look at this. Now Mullis is your leader, and he's decided to take the outside.
He has, yes. This is going to be dicey.
But keep your eye on the 11 machine. That has been the spot to be in. Look at Morin sitting back trying to time this thing. He doesn't time it. Look at the jump that the leader gets, which opens the door for the 5 machine.
Oh, the 11 got a little bit of the grass there. And Sutton hangs onto it now. Sutton's around.
Oh, and there goes Sutton, just turned. And the yellow is out.
To Reeder's credit, Reeder got him, but I still think that he was battling that car from getting loose, and Reeder really had nowhere to go. I just don't put that on Reeder.
Well, you know what? He saved it once. If you look what he was able to do, he saved it once, and then he just couldn't gather it up the second time for Sutton.
Yeah. There we go. Well, Nolan's non-exciting race just got exciting.
He got tagged in the back again. Probably not a lot of bumper left in the back there, so it probably went right to the drivetrain. No crunch zone left on that machine.
Yeah, that's, well, you know what? We guessed it probably wouldn't go off without another caution, and here we go. We've only got 5 laps left right now, so we might be able to get this started with. We might just get a white checker flag here, a green white checker, all in the same lap.
Yeah, they come across here. This will mean they come across. They just got to 147, so there's. Does that make 3 to go?
Nope, 4 laps to go. 4 official laps to go. That's right.
Mullis has really been the car to beat all race. Started 18th, has worked his way up to first. We saw him earlier making his way through. He's been fast all race. Morin also way up at the front, got set back from all the pit stops that he made. As we're going to go around one more time, Morin running in second position. James Mullins running in third. Maybe a good spot to be in if you're looking for a dash here at the end. The third position has been very favorable.
What a race, Bill. We've seen a little bit of everything tonight.
Like Darrell Waltrip's like to say, a lot of goers, a lot of comers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There have been a lot in this race. I mean, we think about the trip around that Morin's had all day today, and Mullis starting far back as he did. I'll tell you what, man.
You feel sorry for drivers like Reeder and Sutton, who had done a good job and got themselves up there at the end.
And Tad Granger, we think about the trouble he had, and he was having a really good run.
We go around one more time.
Yes, sir, and the lights are out.
They're lined up this time, so help me out here, Sean. What am I looking at here when the pace car comes in one time around?
Yeah, we'll have 1 lap to go. Yes, sir.
One time around, so it's like you said, it's a green-white checker all in one lap. And I don't know how that works, if it's who's ever in front when the yellow flag comes out, or if it's who's ever in front when they cross the start-finish line. We will find out when the
Green flag.
When the white flag comes out, there are no more cautions, so we should be good to go. Okay, our leader, Jimmy Mullis, takes him in. He gets loose. He gets loose in front of Mullins. The number 5 machine of Mullins. The door opens for him. Thank you very much, Jimmy. I'm going to take a look at Mullins. Come back. Oh, no. He's going to grab the lead, and I say no, as it's a fight now to the lead. As they still are cleaning.
Oh, my. Car is spinning all over the race. Jimmy Mullis wins this race.
Maybe I take back my no. Maybe that was legitimate. Oh, my goodness. I leave it to the race officials if that one is kosher or not. Your winner, your unofficial winner, is Jimmy Mullis. What a move. Second place goes to Ken Morin. James Mullins gets third. He had the lead, Sean, going in until Mullins gets into the back of him. We're going to watch it right now. Watching it on replay. That's Mullins in the gray car. Morin on the outside in the green car. There's Mullis now loses the position, and Mullen takes the lead. Now Mullis dives it in and gives him a bump and run. And look at the job that Mullins does saving the machine. I honestly think...
Well,
Go ahead.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I know there's one driver looking down, smiling at that. We've seen that before.
The driving skill of James Mullins makes that look less bad. That's a great job of driving from James to keep the car. Let's go ahead. We're going to give the win to Mullis. I think it's going to hold up, but we'll find out next week. You want to turn back in for that one? I think that's this Martinsville, but we don't want to do the job of the series officials. Let's go to break right now. We'll catch our breath. We'll be back. Watch the slideshow for upcoming races, and we will see you in just a few for the entire rundown and interviews with the drivers and and the closing credits. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel post-race coverage of the We Stand United, the Camping World 150 from Martinsville. What an exciting race and an exciting finish. Let's run down your final standings. Your unofficial winner right now is Jimmy Mullis. Right behind him, Ken Morin. Then you have James Mullins, who led it all the way into 3 before he got politely pushed out of the way. Zach Guadet going to finish 4th. Behind him, Kenneth Reeder, a great race from him. Blake Heather quietly taking 6th position. Alex Skinner had that car up there into 7th. Trevor Varun-Varosky in the snowman position. Nolan Sutton, a nice job from him, into 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Carson Hocevar. Sean?
All right, then we'll move it on down to 11th place here. Take the next 10. Nick Parrott finishes 11th. Brian Irby will go 12th in a number 60. Howlin' Wolf, Joshua Wolf there, the number 15, 13th place. Dawson Brock in a number 83, 14th. Haas, Robert Cartwright there in 15th, Bill. Cordell Cologne, tough night for him. He'll finish 16th. Brandon Cretion, 17th. He did have a tough night also. Mike Bandley, 18th. Brad Walsh, 19th. And Ricky Howell, he had some trouble for sure. 20th place.
Go through that entire list. You can remember incidents from all those guys. Cretion having the car with no front on it, and DeCuna having issues there. What a great race from all those guys. Okay, we're going to go to interviews right now. We're going to bring in our unofficial race winner. We're going to go with Jimmy Mullis. Let's see if we can run him down. Still chasing him down there as I tried to pull in the wrong guy. Oh, now we got him. Jimmy, you have a copy?
Yes,
Jimmy
sir.
Mullis.
Yes, sir.
Hey, congratulations on the win. Tell us about that last move, because that's really what we want to talk about.
I'll be honest, I regret doing it because I don't normally like to race like that, but I gave him a shot just like he gave me one, but mine was a lot deeper and, looked a lot worse. So I apologize to James for that, but then again, it's Martinsville, so.
Let me give you some credit. Let me be your defense attorney here for a while. I'll say one thing: you did get it woed up. You came like a bat out of heck, but boy, before you got there, you hit the brakes and you gave him just the right amount of tap to get him moved out of the way.
Yeah, I was making sure I didn't wreck him, but I also wasn't going to let him get away with it easy. So.
Well, I thought we have a lot of interviews, so we'll do this quickly. I thought you had the car to beat all race, though. You started way back and worked your way up. Why such a bad qualifying time?
My computer started overheating before qualifying, so I didn't get to put down a lap. I just got in there maybe a minute before the race actually went green. So,
well, let me congratulate you on the win. I for your sake, I hope it holds up. But you wouldn't be the first driver to have a win taken away from him. Let me say this though: it was one exciting show, and congratulations and thanks for all the excitement.
yeah, thank you, man.
Jimmy Mullis, your unofficial race winner today. Sean, who you got?
Man, I caught up with Ken Morin. Ken, how you doing, man? You had quite a battle on your hands out there. I think you battled every car in the field tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a speeding penalty early in the race, and then coming back through the field on that last restart, I got a lot of damage. And then a couple restarts later, I'm up in like 5th spot, and then those last 3 restarts, it was just crazy. I didn't know what to do.
Well, apparently you figured it out there right at the end when you needed to, because you finished on the podium, 2nd place. Not a bad night. Like I said, it seemed like you battled every car in this field at one point or another. Obviously, you had to come all the way back up through with that speeding penalty. Tell us just real quickly, what is it like having a battle from behind like that?
Definitely nerve-wracking, especially when you're sitting back there just looking at all the cars in front of you that you need to try and pass, especially considering the amount of cautions. I mean, I wanted to play it safe, but not too safe, try and get up there without as much damage. And I seemed to pull it off enough. Like, I had some left front damage, some nose damage that I tried to get fixed, and enough to stay up in the top.
Well, the Morin Graphics Chevrolet was good enough tonight for a second place finish. Congratulations, buddy. We'll see you next week.
All right.
And Bill, that was Ken Morin, and I think we're going to go ahead and catch up with James Mullins next. We got him here, Bill.
Let's see if we can bring him in. James Mullins, you have a copy?
Yeah, sure do, man.
Well, let me tell you, all race long, every restart, I was calling out that the third place was the place to be, and you made it work again for you there at the end. And then things didn't quite go so well going into 3.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. In my opinion, it was dirty. I'll be honest with you, I've been moved the whole race. I don't know if you guys watched. Well, I've been in the first 3 times, got moved every time. And I was kind of getting fed up with it, but I kind of held my composure.
Yeah, one of the things we were talking about, being moved is one thing, and the director, Joe Peak, and I were talking, and Sean, we were all talking that if the guy's right behind you and he nudged you out of the way, that's one thing. Boy, Mullins came from a long way back, but it was exciting. Let me credit you for a great save. Well, almost.
Oh, man, if you would have seen me actually in my house driving, my wheel come off. I was trying to save something. I don't know how I saved it. It was hilarious.
Well, I'm not sure how if it is taken away. I'm still not sure you're going to get the win as you finish third. It may end up to Morin. That's in for smarter minds than us. But let me congratulate you on a great show. You put on a great race. Trying for 3 in a row. You got 2. This will help you even in the points. Work your way back up there. Should get you inside the top 5 now, I would think.
Yeah, I hope you don't take it away from Jimmy. I mean, he did have the fastest car. It just come down to who wanted it more. And in my opinion, I wanted it more, and he moved me out of the way time for it, and I moved it back, and he just drove in deep. I mean, I'm not a dirty driver by any means, but he might get hit sooner or later.
Well, Martinsville doesn't bring out the best in people, so that's, you can just chalk it up to that. Congratulations on an exciting race anyway, and we look forward to having you do well next time.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.
The Mullen man, James Mullins, third place today. We're not sure how that is actually going to sort out. Sean, do we have anybody else we want to talk to?
Bill, first I got to say it sounds like he had something storming the castle there in the background.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to talk to Tad Granger. Tad, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
There's Tad Granger. Okay, Tad. This question's been bugging me since it happened. All right, do you regret for one moment maybe keeping that car out there after that first caution flag?
I
didn't mean to put you on the spot, man.
It was so long ago.
I'm trying to think back because this has been a lot going on here.
Well, you were up in front there early on, and it didn't work so well for you.
Oh yeah, my thought process was to get a 10-15 lap run, and then drop in, 10th to 15th, and I still gain a couple spots, and then try something like that because it was just so hard to pass back there, and the car wasn't handling very right. So I wouldn't regret it, but it didn't really help because once Nick got by me, it put me right back where I was, and the caution came out. So it just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, that was a tough race for you, tough break tonight. But you'll be back to get him next week, right?
Yeah, I hope.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, I wanted to bring you down and put you on the spot real quick. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, all good. Hey, I got an interview.
Yeah, all right, buddy. And all Tad's fans, I brought him in just to put him on the spot.
Tad, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go ahead. We'll use you for our favorite Disney princess. Who's it going to be?
Oh man, that's tough. I don't know about that.
Come on, you got Snow White, you got Cinderella, you got Sleeping Beauty, you got Jasmine.
I'm gonna have to go Jasmine.
Jasmine, there you go.
Yep.
All right, one for Jasmine. And our series as we continue to find out these drivers' favorite Disney princess. All right, Sean, are we done? I think that's going to wrap it up for us. Good race today, huh, buddy?
Man, everything I thought it was going to be, Bill, a little bit more. Yes, sir. That was a good one. A pretty good one earlier today for 500 laps, and guess what? It was a pretty good one here today as well for 150 of them. And man, I'm a little worn out. That got pretty frantic there at the end. You know, there were really two races, Bill. There was the first half of this race where they had a couple of decent green flag runs, and it seems like, you know, once they got into like lap 70 or so, things started getting really tense, and maybe a little more tension than a few of these guys anticipated. So hopefully everybody can cool down enough as we head off next week to another track and let them spread out a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But we did get us finished under green, so that's always good. Okay, let's go ahead and do our thank yous here. We'd like to thank everybody at the We Stand United League for organizing this series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen right now that we used during the broadcast. The original music you've heard for today's broadcast is thanks to two guys, Eric Echolm and Casey Lalonde. I encourage everyone to go to the addresses you see on the screen and download some of their digital stuff. It's good to have around. Thanks to my mic mate, Sean Ambrose, our director, Joe Peak, and for Dougie Beard for his exceptional camera locations. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC and find out archived races, your best bet is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. The next race for the We Stand United League is next week at Texas Motor Speedway for the Advocare 150, and GSRC will be there to bring you all the actions. For details of all upcoming events, go to the GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. And now that all the housekeeping is out of the way, it's time for us to go have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.